Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim, and welcome to Tim Talks, the show that's only partially a show, but really it's just an excuse for me to talk to my very talented friends. And speaking of talented friends, I have another one here with me today. She's the campaign manager for the Lazer Team IndieGoGo campaign, as well as the sponsor liaison for Rooster Teeth, and woman of many other hats, my friend Chelsea Atkinson. Welcome, my dear.
Hi, Tim. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent for a Sunday morning. You know, I've gotten used to doing these much later at night, and so I'm kind of more primed and prepped by that point, but I'm quickly discovering that no matter how early I go to bed, no matter how long I sleep, or early I wake up to do stuff, I'm just not a morning person. It's just never going to happen, and I have to be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday mornings are probably the worst, but they're so pretty today, especially.
It's true.
Yeah. So
a nice... It's before the cold snaps again. Oh, puppy. And so yeah, it's a nice, beautiful Sunday day, and we're instead spending it inside. But hey, it's Super Bowl Sunday, right? You're going to do the thing.
It's Puppy Bowl Sunday, I think is what I'm looking for. Like Super Bowl, football's okay, but I'm more excited about seeing all the puppies online.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I can't wait to see Ben Roethlisberger paw his way back over there. Oh my goodness. Anywho, so for those who may be unfamiliar with what you do, give us a little bit of a Reader's Digest version of your job over at the company, or your multiple ones over the years, I guess.
I guess when I got hired, I started as being like the front office coordinator, so it was like the pseudo babysitter where I took care of everybody, made sure they had their drinks and all their office supplies, made sure everyone knew where they were going if they came in for meetings.
Right.
And about 2 weeks into that, the IndieGoGo campaign happened. I'm sure some of y'all have heard about it. Massive 30-day long campaign, lots of ins and outs and snafus that were fantastic.
Oh yeah, once again, the infamous 535 strikes again.
Stay infamous, baby.
And a record-breaking IndieGoGo campaign at that. Do you remember the final number right off the top of your head?
The final number was 2.487 million. Yeah. It
warms the cockles of my heart. And we were actually able to make a movie.
We did.
That isn't awful. Like, I loved Lazer Team.
Yeah, and it's been in theaters, and people actually have the physical copies if they were backers, and it's just so many people have been able to see it. It's been fantastic.
YouTube Red comes out very soon. In fact, it'll come out, I think, like the day before this comes out.
Yeah.
February 10th, I think, is the day.
Yeah, February.
And this will be out on Wednesday to kind of date us a little bit. So yeah, it should be right around that time.
It's so close. So many people, more people are going to be able to see it.
I know. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy to think that we make things that affect people, like actually genuinely affect people.
Yeah.
In an emotional type way. And I mean, Ruby notwithstanding, especially considering the one that went up today. But, we make things that make people feel stuff. And that's really awesome.
It's the best thing ever.
And so as the coordinator with the campaign, what did that involve?
It's still going on right now. We're wrapping up like the finishing, like loose ends on it. But
for all of the goals and backer supporting items and that sort of stuff, shipping all that out, yeah?
Yeah. But for the most part, from beginning to now, it's been a lot of support, lots of emails, lots of questions from people. When am I going to get my things? Like, I can't find the tracking number. Where is it?
How many individual backers were there?
Unique? I don't know the number of unique backers, but we had a total of 37,419 pledges. So even if somebody pledged multiple times, like that's how many pledges there were total. But I don't know how many unique individuals there were.
Oh my gosh. And so that is at least that number of individual items that need to be shipped out and sent out, because most of the tiers had multiple items attached to them. So when you're having to ship out like a t-shirt, medallions, and all this stuff, some of them can't get shipped together. That means multiple packages for one person. Yeah, it adds up very quickly.
Poster tubes. Posters, like... They're long and you can't put anything else in them, and
yeah. Oh, but hey, people want our stuff,
and
we are more than happy to give it to them.
Yes, I love seeing the pictures that people like will send out and like tag hashtag Laser Team. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh man, you got your shirt, you got your mug, you got your little challenge coin. Like,
I'm wearing all of this to the screening, and here's me
yes.
with a picture of the cutout of Michael and everybody. Oh, God, that feels so great.
I think the best thing that I love the most about like all the theatrical screenings is because we did so many of them through Tug, and Tug is like basically theater on demand, where if one person says, "Hey, I want a screening in my hometown," if they get enough people to purchase tickets to that screening is confirmed. And
Right.
we had over 500 and
Wow.
the biggest community meetup like that Rooster Teeth has ever done. It was like worldwide. So many people were like getting together. I was seeing on social media that somebody had gone alone and they left with friends to go get like drinks or food afterwards. It was like a massive like whole scale RTX version.
Yeah, it was. I want to say that one of the better quotes that came out of it was the actual company itself talking about it being the largest fan meetup,
Yeah.
simultaneous fan meetup ever. Like, that was.
It was awesome.
It makes me feel really good as someone who came into this as a fan. You
Yeah.
know, like I absolutely, before I was even considering getting a job with the company, was an avid watcher of the stuff. And so when I get the chance now to be a part of it, it just feels that much more valuable to me.
Oh yeah. I grew up watching Red versus Blue, so like now being a part of it, I'm just like,
It's the best. And so you are a Texan girl, is that correct?
yes, born and raised in Austin, Texas.
Mm.
Only
That is actually a rarity nowadays.
yeah, one of the few locals left.
How has that kind of influenced your career path? Because did you set out to work at a production company?
No, not at all. Like, I went to school. Sorry, I went to school in West Texas at Angelo State University and got my degree in business. And at that time, I was working in a hotel, and I was front desk bartender and doing direct billing on the side. And like my entire goal was like I was going to be a GM of a hotel. I was going to run the JW Marriott in Austin. Like
Yeah.
that was my goal. And
I mean, that kind of automatically gets you the penthouse every night. Am I not wrong there?
oh, penthouses are so nice. I've never stayed in one, but I've walked into one. I'm just this is the epitome of luxury. Like, can I have one?
Yeah, right? Just give me a standing one anywhere. It doesn't really matter what city. I'll take any city at this point. Vancouver, penthouse. Oh, that'd be so amazing.
Is that a jacuzzi in my room? Can I? Is that like? Can I use that? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay there forever?
The only place I've ever seen that was in Myrtle Beach. I was lucky enough to stay with a family friend at a hotel there, and we happened to hook up a room that had a jacuzzi in the room. That was amazing.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Because I would come in from the ocean and kind of get chilled out as we were going back to, because it was like mid-October, but it's South Carolina, so it's not cold during the day. It gets a little chilly at night. So you would go night swimming, come back in, be a little chilly, jump in the jacuzzi, and have a great time.
I like that plan.
Yeah, right. It's a good plan. Oh, if only we knew somebody who coordinated events that could possibly hook something up like that.
We know someone.
So after working for the front desk for a little bit and then doing the IndieGoGo campaign, what you have now since sprouted into sponsor Liaison.
Yes, that actually, it started off as it was just going to be like another kind of like idea that I did. Like I was going to come up with a plan of some sort, and it was like, oh hey, like why don't you like move and do this permanently? And right now, like I'm still like wrapping up the IndieGoGo campaign, but very soon I'm hoping to start some really cool things with the sponsors.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know like the sponsor chat just got re-implemented, which honestly was one of my favorite features of the old site that I kind of really missed when we switched over, but scaling like that just didn't quite work for some time, and God bless Adam Baird for dealing with everything that we throw at him on a weekly basis. My favorite part of the Monday meeting is every time animation has to look over there and go, sorry, not sorry. We broke your website again.
We're sorry about Ruby.
Twice a week, and Red versus Blue, and X-Ray and Vab before that. Like, I mean, he tries so hard to keep up. And on top of that, dealing with all the other features that were lost during the merger, like the sponsored chat. So now that that's back up, we're able to do much more sponsor-related things because they pay money to us. We like to treat them well.
And like we had the questions up now. Like, have you seen on the new site? Like, you can actually just go and ask people questions.
Yes,
and,
that was it. That was going to be my next topic. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, the new questions tab is great, especially for someone like me who does the Q&A show.
Yeah.
Now all I have to do is just reroute people to the website. Link down below for that one. And they can just go ahead and put questions in there anytime they want to, and I don't have to keep up with, like, journal posts and asking people over and over again. Just redirect to our site.
It's fantastic. Like,
roosterteeth.com.
Yeah. Well,
say it again, roosterteeth.com. You can't say I'm not a company man. I am, in fact, wearing a Lazer Team shirt as we speak.
I don't.
Gotcha beat.
I have a Mikasa.
Ooh, that is a nice statue.
I don't have any Rooster teeth.
It's fine. Trust me. We do plenty. We do plenty that we don't have to wear it all the time. It's just laundry day, and I only have certain shirts available to me.
I do have a lot of Funhouse shirts, actually.
Yeah. I love all of our Heather shirts. Those are my favorite.
Oh, they feel so nice.
Like, this is totally insider speak, and I don't really care at this point. Those Heather shirts are absolutely my favorite. They're, like, the softest material that we have. One of the Guardian shirts one year was made with that, and I still have that shirt, and I wear it, God, at least 3 times a month, you know, just out and about. It's that nice Heather material, and it feels so good on my skin, and I love feeling good on my skin, Chelsea.
I like to have clothes that hug me and make me feel happy.
Mm-hmm. That green Achievement Hunter hoodie you see me in 5 times out of 10
Yeah.
is pretty much the same. Like, I love the way that one feels, and it kind of hugs me slimline, you know?
Ooh la la.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta be looking good at all times. I just got one of the pair of plastic Achievement Hunter. I think they're Achievement Hunter. They're the green on the sides and black frame sunglasses because I lost my old pair of shitty $20 sunglasses. Are you bad about losing things? I'm the worst.
I have an issue with losing toothbrushes.
Toothbrushes. That's a weird one.
I mean, I don't travel that often, but it's like I may take my toothbrush from one bathroom to another bathroom in the house, and it goes somewhere. It's like the missing sock. Like, you put socks into a dryer, and you only get one back.
Yeah.
Well, I lose toothbrushes.
I will say this, speaking of our merch, I just noticed earlier today that the Funhouse socks, I don't know if the Achievement Hunter ones do it, have left and right on them.
Really?
Really, really. So not only are they made for somebody like me to wear to make sure they go on the right damn foot, but if you do lose one in the dryer, you know which one you lost.
You know which fucker disappeared.
Yep. And so you can go get another pair and be like, now I just have 2 right socks. Oh well. I love that that's becoming a thing. I have bought nicer socks now because we have nicer socks available at the company, and I get used to feeling them on my feet. And I think wearing my Funhouse ones as we speak. And you know, most of them now have that left and right foot, and I'm like, I guess I had been wearing them wrong this whole time and never knew that.
I feel like I had some socks growing up where they were actually sewn differently on the foot. So like, because I mean, like, you know, your foot's kind of like tapered, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Into the arch.
Yeah. It was like I actually had socks growing up where it was like they were going like straight, and then like where your toe was, they had seams that ran along your toes, and so you couldn't wear them on the other foot because it felt wrong.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that would be a good little almost like home key bump way of figuring out which toes you should be foot you should be wearing the socks on.
That's just too much effort. I just want to put socks on.
No, that's completely fair. I totally get that. And the ones that have like grippy pads on the bottom too, those annoy the crap out of me.
They always get stuck to floors.
So, what else encompasses your realm at the company? I know that as someone, I do wardrobe and also art department, and also makeup, and also. So there's always the and alsos to what we do. What are your and alsos?
My and also is I am also the executive assistant to Matt and Bernie,
Oh, really?
our CEO and CCO of the company. So
Yeah.
in my spare time, I make sure that they have organized calendars, they know where they're going, and a few other high-level items.
Right. I imagine that's that. So basically, you have 2 full-time jobs. Like you say in your spare time, it's basically 2 full-time jobs.
It's fun, though. I mean, Bernie is really easy. He's so easy to take care of. And Matt is so complicated that it's easy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like,
In so much as you can say, of course.
I know that 100% of his day is going to be taken up, and I know what that 100% is. And when there's an opening for 10%, I know exactly what to fill that with. And it's like,
Right. And there's no chance of him like getting lost or wandering off because he has a free hour. And suddenly you're like, where did he go?
No, like, Matt is not a wanderer. And, like, I know that some of Bernie's past PAs from RTX have talked about, like, Bernie has this issue where he's like,
Yeah, no, Bernie is absolutely 100% a wanderer. On set, it's the worst. He'll be standing there talking to you, and you turn around, and he's fucking gone. And then they're like, oh, we need Bernie on set. And you're like, I know that I lost him. I'm sorry. And then it's a manhunt for about 3 minutes. And then he appears around a whole other corner that you never even saw him go behind on his phone because he's doing stuff, you know? It's crazy to see such high-level function where they're thinking about 100 different things at a time, 3 of which might be right in front of them.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah. It blows me away to see the amount of stuff that they can get done. And now you have Gavin as our creative director underneath Bernie doing all that sort of stuff. I love it. It's the most intricate beehive I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it works.
Yep. And I guess that would make you the queen. If you are coordinating, in fact, all of the head efforts. So that involves convention work as well, does it not?
Yeah. Before we had Bethany and her fantastic events team, we were always kind of like short-staffed on who to send to conventions. And it was me and Ashley Shoemaker, who is actually one of our head staff accountants.
Yeah.
Accounting. And the 2 of us, we would trade off on who was going to go to the convention and help run it. And
right. With Emily, our Emily McBride, our wonderful marketing, or no, she's head of the store.
Head of the store, yeah.
Yep. Roosterteeth.com/store. I love that. I love that
Store.
That's become a thing now. Just ... also store. Like that's one of my favorite jokes that keeps coming back to haunt her over and over again. But anyway, so you would go and help her out running the booth and such.
Yeah, she came, the first one I did was PAX Prime 2014. It was like just a few months after I got hired. And Emily and I went out there. And so she kind of like showed me the ropes, but I had been volunteering at RTX since the very first one, helping run the store. So
right.
I had that experience under my belt. And then she showed me how like we did convention store and how that all ran. And then I did PAX East, I did San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. I've been to MCM twice. Love going to MCM just because RT UK is probably like the most welcoming, like happy group of a bunch of Brits, and they're saying words I don't understand and talking about tubes and the underground and chips.
That sounds like
chips.
So much fun. Oh my God. So that's a whole lot of traveling, and you've accumulated a whole lot of miles just doing stuff for the company. Like, small town girl from Texas, now globetrotting with one of the biggest growing production companies on the internet. Like, how cool does that feel? Tell me, Chelsea Atkinson, how cool does that feel?
I just want to go back in time and tell the 16-year-old Chelsea who is browsing the art site, watching Red vs. Blue, one day you will be working there, honey bun. Like,
and in a very huge capacity.
It's exciting. Like, I didn't think it. Yeah.
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 I think it feels very lucky and very proud and very happy and very lucky to be doing what we're doing.
Yes, it's my new family.
And so that means you've gotten to meet a whole lot of fans that have come up to you at the conventions as you're out and about. Do you have any good stories?
I think probably like one of my best stories was it was at PAX East, and this was last year. And so we had sent Jack, Jordan Swears from 2D Animation, and then we had Lawrence Sontag from Funhouse, Bruce Green from Funhouse, Adam Kovic from Funhouse, and James, I think. Yeah. And so we had like a whole slew of people at the booth. And
Right. That's a good lineup.
yeah, it was a great one. And so like I'm like, like making my way downtown, like
Walking fast.
walking fast, nowhere, whatever. I don't.
Okay, I had to, or else it was going to drive me nuts.
You had to finish the tune.
I did. It's like when somebody goes up and plays 7 notes on a piano and then doesn't finish. I'm that person that's like, I gotta go hit the key.
2 measures.
I'm sorry.
4x4, 2 measures.
Please continue.
But yeah, so I was like making sure people had like what they wanted, and I was checking them out, and like they were, because we did merchandise line that went into the autographs, so we didn't have to like fight with 2 different lines.
Oh
And
God, yeah.
it was-
Line management at some of those conventions can be the absolute worst. Which is why we try so hard to make sure that that's not a problem in RTX. Like, it's one of those undercut things that people are just like, oh, the lines will work themselves out. No, people are a fucking mob, and you need to coordinate them, or else they're going to mob you. That's what they do.
Put tape on the floor.
Yeah, works surprisingly well.
Yeah.
I mean, even the slightest suggestion and like a tape and 3 people is enough to hold back hundreds.
Yeah. But the story, so it was Jack and someone else was signing, and like I see this guy and he's looking like visibly like nervous and like shaky and like pale, like nervous as all get out. I'm like, hey, like, what's up? You okay? He was just like, I'm about to meet Jack. And I was like, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's as excited to meet you as you can meet him. And he was like, I've been watching Achievement Hunter for years. Like, I know who Jack is. And I'm about to, like, shake hands with him and take a picture. And, like, he actually started to tear up. And it was that moment. This was probably my 3rd convention. It was, like, that moment that, like, really sat in that, like, what we were doing for everybody affected them on such a personal level that they were actually getting to meet the people that they considered heroes, or they looked up to with, like, the utmost respect and adoration.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of my favorite stories.
Absolutely. Like, it's just one of those that stuns you for a minute. It makes you take a step back and really think about the big picture. Ironically, that would be Lazer Team. The big picture. Yeah, it's really neat to sit there and be hit with that wave of, well, I know how I feel about Rooster Teeth, and yes, I'm very happy to do what we do, but that is a different level. You know, that is a love that doesn't go anywhere. Like, it makes me not worry about my future.
Oh no, not at all.
It makes me not worry about what's going to happen with the company. Like, I mean, what we do is so amazing and so well protected, honestly, that we're just going to keep doing silly stuff forever.
Yeah, we're going to keep making people happy.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's the best. So, when you are not doing RT stuff, how else do you occupy that little bit of free time that you might have?
Video games right now.
Oh, yeah? What you playing?
The chick flick of all chick flick video games, Final Fantasy X2.
Oh! Oh! Clap, 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 my dear. That is, way to be a stereotype.
Well, I just finished X. I logged in, I think my final count was 120 hours.
Uh-huh.
You don't hear that, Mom? Yeah, so I was like, I finally finished X, and I played it 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But
It's so good though. And honestly, I'm one of those few people that doesn't exactly hate X2. Like, I mean, it's a shelved down version of Final Fantasy, sure. I enjoy the crap out of it. It's got bright lights and big colors and flashing lights. Like, that's all that I need for me. Yeah. Yeah. And you get to dance around and kill things and be bright and colorful while you do it. I love that shit.
yeah, I've never played it before, but probably, I think it was November, PlayStation Network had the Remastered edition on sale.
Right.
And I didn't think, I was like, oh, it's remastered. Like, what did they do? Would they just, like, beef up the cut? No. Dude, they texturized the entire game. Like, you remember in Final Fantasy X, like, if you walked on a cobblestone, it just kind of looked, like, grainy?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like, with the Remastered, it's like, you see the cobbles. Like, it is that, like, high definition, and they remix all the music very well, mind you. And, like, the date scene, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
I may have to go back and check that out. I honestly haven't revisited that game since I played it the first time, so that's good to know that there's a good remaster out there.
Oh yeah, and like the way that PSN is selling it, you get Final Fantasy X, you get Final Fantasy X: The Eternal Calm, which is like just like one cutscene that goes between the two games, and you get Final Fantasy X2, and then you get X2 Last Mission. I don't know what that was.
Some sort of epilogue that goes on the end, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm playing through this one. Like, I mean, I've read fan fiction, so I know what happens. But I'm still actually looking forward to playing the game all the way through.
I mean, just because you know what happens doesn't mean you're not going to enjoy the ride getting there. Like,
exactly. I'm still going to cry, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I don't really get about this spoiler culture that's coming around. You know, like, yes, getting spoiled like 5 minutes before you're going in the theater, I understand. Getting spoiled maybe a week after the movie, I understand. But 2 weeks later, come on, we need to be able to talk about it, and it's going to be at a point where you should be able to hear it and still enjoy the thing. If you cared about that much, you would go see it beforehand. So obviously you don't care about it enough that spoilers are going to kill you.
Yeah. It's like, I knew all
and rant
for Ruby, but that got spoiled for me early on.
Right.
But,
yeah. I made the mistake of asking Pat what they were going to do to ramp things up for this season, and he told me 3 things, including 2 of the things that happened in this last week's episode.
Next.
And I was like, no, why would you tell me that? I mean, yes, you're doing a great job. Continue your work. I can't wait. Oh, my God. And so now, going into the finale next week, everybody watch out for that. I'm ready. I'm all new. It's gonna be all surprises. I don't know anything anymore. Like, I'm back to regular status. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that show is so good.
I know.
So good, Chelsea.
I watched it today and I came inside and I was like squealing to my mom. I was like, oh, this stuff just happened and oh my God.
My favorite part is watching it immediately and then just sitting there on the hashtag Ruby on TweetDeck and just watching it float in, you know? Oh, their tears filled me with such sustenance. It's the best. We have enough now to feed Miles for weeks.
We should, like, you know how Miles has that, I think it's vodka, the bottle of vodka, Writer's Tears?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we need our own, like, fan tears. Like, the creative, like, flowing for a new episode, just like.
Oh my God, that would be so great. I want to do that. Like, I want to write a thing that Miles is just in and, like, have that be an incidental prop in the background. Just a bottle of fan tears. I'm going to make that happen now. Like, that's the thing. I have the power to do that. I work with the art department.
They can get bottles and they can do a nice little label. Mm-hmm. It would work very well.
And so, what are some of the hurdles that you've come into as you've been working at the company for a while?
I guess, like, the Lazer Team campaign. Like, when Bernie first approached me and asked me to do it, it was because I had no idea what to do. Zero. Like, I was running off of, no one had ever done it before at the company.
Right.
No one had ever participated in a crowdfunding campaign the way that we were doing it. And all of a sudden, we had to come up with a plan of action to have a support system in place. We had...
Hey.
Yeah.
Superwoman is the best support system you need. Am I right?
I would say I have made some of the prettiest Excel spreadsheets based all around this campaign. They are absolutely fantastic. Huge. I have one that is 39,000 rows, 152 columns, all of that filled in with data, and these beautiful formulas and colors. Oh, yes.
That just wrinkled my brain. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine that. And then, oh my God. How? I mean, business. That's how.
Business.
Yeah. You gotta love when that prior knowledge comes back around in your chosen career path by accident. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there are hundreds of times a day where I'll think about something I haven't thought about since 3rd grade when I need to figure out how to remember how to sew a button onto a shirt. You know, or some weird, stupid stuff that we just happen to be doing. Oh, I made blood that was edible by using chocolate syrup and food dye. This person needs to spit out a little bit of blood. Oh, it's too thick. I know that you can cut, not barbecue sauce, chocolate sauce with such and such and such and such. And suddenly you've got whatever the situation called for based on prior knowledge. Like, it's crazy when stuff like that comes back around.
Yeah, I mean, the knowledge that we have is never going to go out of style or out of date. Like, I'm pretty old school tech. Like, I still have a VCR. I bought a brand new one 2 years ago. I still actively watch VHS tapes. I prefer books over anything else. I crochet.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which is what I'm doing while we've been talking.
I wish I could say I can't believe that, but I totally can.
Yeah, and Anna Hullum is the one who got me back into crocheting, because she'll come into the office and she'll just walk around and be like, yeah, so like, how are things? Like, how are you? Like, what's up? And
yeah, just working the needles the whole time.
Yeah, she actually knits. She doesn't crochet, so.
Oh, okay,
That's
gotcha.
the one with like 2 needles that you can like.
Yeah. You're doing the much more micro movements.
Yeah.
She actually helped me out make the Scorpion costume for the Scorpions Family Fun Dojo short.
Yeah, and she's the one who also made the Ruby Girls costume for RTX last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years, because we've had that costume run for a while now.
That was a long time ago.
And I love that we've gotten a lot of use out of it since. I think Miles in it for 10 Little Roosters. That was probably one of my favorite parts.
I wonder, does he like the Ruby costume, or does he like the Spartan outfit more?
I don't know. Both have combat skirts.
That is very true.
So maybe that's what he prefers.
Well,
We're seeing a pattern start to develop here. I'll have to ask him about that in the future. But anyway, so I know you are under a bit of a time crunch here, so I won't take up too much of your time. But before we go, I wanted to go ahead and round out the show the way we always do with a brief version of the Inside the Actor Studio style questionnaire.
Okay.
Because I have found the Proust personality questionnaire to be a really good way to kind of figure out how you think. The answers here aren't so much important. It's figuring out how you got there that makes it much more interesting to me.
Okay.
So, Chelsea, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? Enthusiastic.
Good choice.
It's the first word I learned how to spell.
And what is your least favorite word?
Moist.
That's one of my favorites, and I love it when people hate it. There's nothing better than, like, describing a cake as succulent and moist.
There's a quote about me and a cake.
Is that right? I don't know that I've heard this. I may have...
Yeah.
So what sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise? I love the sound of an old hot rod engine purring. Like
That is a good
that
one.
just like low, deep rumble. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is your least favorite? Or what sound? Which one do you hate?
Traffic noises.
You get plenty of those around fucking Austin.
Like
Oh my god.
the sound of like brakes squealing and people yelling and car horns honking and skidding, like the entire like cacophonous noise group. It's
I do my best to stick to every side street that I possibly can in town.
Yeah.
Because I hate traffic so much. I grew up in a place where you can go 15 miles in 15 minutes. Like,
well,
that's a thing.
yeah.
You can count it. Say what?
You're from Louisiana? Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia. Yeah. I feel like there's a little bit more open air out there for that.
Absolutely. And so when you get here and realize it takes you half an hour to do that, it's like, how? Why? Why is that a thing?
Why is my day going down the drain in my car?
Basically. And so what hero or heroine do you identify with the most?
I always used to look up to Jim Carrey growing up. I liked his sense of humor, that he was willing to just kind of go out and do like really oddball movies.
Right.
I mean, he went from like Ace Ventura to Me, Myself, and Irene, which was really strange, and Man on the Moon, also kind of strange. But he was who I looked up to for the longest time. And now it's probably Indiana Jones.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's changed too.
You know, it's funny. I actually started on the path of becoming a lawyer because I watched the movie Liar Liar
Yeah?
and said, I want to do that. Like, literally pointed at the TV screen, looked at my grandmother and said, I want to do that. And she said, oh, that's called being a lawyer. And so I started out as a pre-law major and got all the way to sophomore year of college before I started doing theater and realized what I actually wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
And the rest, as they say. But yeah, I love Jim Carrey as well. What villain?
What villain do I look up to?
Yeah, or identify with. What villain do you see yourself as?
Huh. For those of you who have played Jack and Daxter, the second one, the Baron of the City, Baron Praxis, I liked him. He had very good... I fucking love that game, first of all. Like, I know...
Oh, the Jack and Daxter series is great.
I know, like, every possible, like, canon theory and head canons and fan theories. Like, I know way too much about that game. But Baron Praxis, like, what he wanted to do for Haven City, like, he had a good idea. And he wanted to save his people. But he just fucked it all up. Like, he had the Dark Warrior program that never worked, and then he was and it's like, why would you make deals with the metalheads? They are just going to kill you. But he had a good plan. Like, that's probably the villain I would be, is be like, I have a good idea, but I'm just gonna go about it in 10 sorts of wrong ways.
But that's why you surround yourself with people who are smarter than you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like supervillains just have the wrong support team.
They need better resumes.
Yeah, basically. So what would be your superpower?
Oh, dude. Like, I want to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's so much I want to see, and I hate driving, and I could fly to work. I could just say, hey, I'm going to go fly up to Canada this weekend, and I don't have to pay $700 for a fucking airplane ticket. I just, like...
Carryon Luggage actually means carry-on luggage.
Find ways to strap it to my back.
Oh, God, that would be so great. And depending on how much you could lift, hell, you could probably just, like, loop it all on into a cargo thing that you have a harness, and you just start flying away.
Oh.
That would make moving so much simpler.
Although, instead of flying, this is another one that I always thought would be incredible. Being able to talk to plants.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like Poison Ivy style.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like
We
walk
can dig it.
outside and be like, "Hey, Mr. Cedar Tree, why are you such an asshole?" Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mesquite, you make great barbecue. I want you everywhere." But it's like,
Yeah.
what
Can we just not with the pollen this season, guys, please?
please,
And then it just close everything back up. Thank you.
you guys are the best. Thanks. I'll
As you can tell, it's hitting me pretty hard too. Ugh.
Oh
I
yeah,
hate
no, I'm all up on that Zyrtec right now. Like,
it. Ugh.
I don't trust cedar trees. They can explode at any given moment.
Yep. What would be your super weakness?
Super weakness. Hmm. Not being able to see. Is that a viable answer?
Absolutely.
I don't like the dark.
Mhm.
I don't like not being able to see where I'm going. Like, I don't like caves. Also, I
Yeah.
read way too many novels where things go bad in the caves.
Right? Right? I've seen that horror movie. We know how this ends.
And if you haven't checked it out, speaking of being really terrified of caves, you should read The Descent by Jeff Long. Do not watch that movie. That movie is awful, and it is horror for the sake of horror, just to see people die and see some boobies. It is bad.
Noted. Read the book instead.
Read the book. It's actually a very religious, like, satanic, finding the devil book. Like,
Interesting.
a lot stranger after you've seen the movie and you're like, but yeah, not being able to see. That would be my.
So what turns you on creatively? What gets your wheels going?
Being outside of this city. I feel confined being in the middle of like all the hubbub and bustle and everyday like noise and action. I need to be able to like go sit somewhere quiet. Like the best place is going camping, really, where there's quiet. It's just a bunch of trees and nature, and all you have is that noise of nature.
Right.
Like this is still untouched. Like you can't change this, but I can add it to what I'm doing.
And see, what's interesting to note is in South Carolina, the trees are so oppressively close to everything.
Yeah.
You know, you have 30-foot pines on either side of every major highway as you're driving down the road. And most houses have the same height trees just in their yards. So you can't see more than 500 feet in any given direction. I kind of feel the same way inside the inner city limits where you can't really see anything. And I feel very hugged and comfortable there. But when I step out into the open, into the ranch land where there's just fucking flat for days,
It's the best.
I get that reverse claustrophobic effect. Like I always forget the exact word, and I really should look it up because I do feel that, where it's just like there's too much room. I'm exposed. I don't like this. I need to get under some cover quickly.
I can see that.
So what turns you off?
Not really sure. It's like I feel like I'm always thinking creatively. Like I've been writing for years, and I guess the biggest thing would be I'm in the middle. I can't figure out how to get a character from point A to point X. Like
Right.
I can do here's point A, here's point X, but I don't know how.
That linking ground in the middle
Yeah.
can be a little muddy sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
Especially making something compelling.
yeah, it's hard getting that thought going. Like he's not just gonna magically appear there, Chelsea. Like you have to write it. Like
Yeah.
he has to get in his car. He has to find a map. Like there was
Although, I mean, the lazy 2016 version is, yes, he just does magically get there because it's a movie, shut up. So, I mean, like, it's getting to the point now where you no longer have to write those sort of conceits and have things make sense chronologically and put things in order.
life is all about the journey. It's not how you get there.
No, you're absolutely 100% right about that. I think you and I would be the only two in agreement nowadays. Ay, chihuahua.
Yeah, it's like I love reading young adult books because it's usually like, oh, it's sweet, they fell in love, it's good, but
buddy cop movies and road trip movies are about the same for me.
But it's so quick, like, so he woke up and he killed a guy, and then like the next week he had breakfast. I was like, he killed a guy and then he had breakfast a week later? What happened in that week?
Did he have a very successful talk with a psychiatrist? Because otherwise, I don't buy that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, did he cry? Did he kill other people? Like, did he have badgers eat the body? Like, what did he do with the body?
Did he just call in the coroner? I mean, like, a phone flip and a phone call would totally take care of all of my questions here. They're just being lazy about it.
Really cool dudes from John Wick who, like, you have the little coins and it's like, hey, buddy, take care of this body for me.
Yeah. Oh, they're making a sequel. Oh, it's going to be so good. Yeah, you didn't know that? They're making John Wick 2.
I'm so excited. There better not be a dog in it. I'm not watching.
I know, right? Key and Peele, in a similar vein, have made a movie called Keanu.
Yeah?
That was supposedly written before John Wick. That involves Key and Peele finding this kitten, Keanu, and then one day Peele comes home and finds his home has been broken into and Keanu has been stolen. And so they go on a rampage to try and find Keanu.
I assume it's a comedic rampage, though?
Mostly, yeah. Yeah, it seems that way. But it looks like it's going to have some good action in it, too. And I'm super duper excited. But, like, it's so funny that two movies of a similar vein, and also the kitten's name happens to be Keanu, and also, like, I'm totally down just based on the coincidences alone, which they are coincidences and just that. But it's really funny how the universe works out sometimes, isn't it?
I mean, you can only have so many original thoughts.
Right. And also, come on, who wouldn't name their kitten after Keanu Reeves? He's adorable.
Nickname KR for short.
Right? So what advice would you give to your 13-year-old self?
Probably take college more seriously. Mm-hmm. Like, take the classes more seriously. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing my first 2 years. So I kind of showed up, started taking evolution classes, changed, and just kind of like skated through my business courses at that point. But I feel like if I had paid a little bit more attention, it could have really given me that extra, like, that background knowledge that you just kind of keep and you pull out occasionally. Like, it's not something I use every day, but definitely background stuff. Like, put it in the filing cabinet.
It's always fun to find people who love cultivating that knowledge. I'm a big reader growing up. I read the backs of shampoo bottles while I was sitting on the toilet. You know, like I voraciously consumed anything I could get my hands on because I liked learning things. There's this whole world around us that's so interesting and so cool. Why wouldn't you be working every day to understand it better?
Yeah, I mean, just keep picking up a book. Like, I would have told 13-year-old me to, like, never stop reading. Like...
No. My word.
It also goes down lower.
Nah. That is an impressive book stash, I must admit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just... I didn't start reading again until college, so... Definitely never give that up.
What is something that only you do?
That only I do?
Yeah. We all have our little quirks, our little glitches, things that make us unique. I mean, that's one.
I make Pokemon Christmas ornaments.
Oh, really? Now that is cool. You wouldn't happen to have any of them on hand?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
This I gotta see. Please, can you take us there?
Let me grab it.
I must see this Pokemon Christmas ornament. A Christmas Bulbasaur. Ah! I just made myself happy.
I gave the Bulbasaur to somebody, but...
Oh, that's great.
I'm not.
And you painted that yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an artist by any means, but they're fun, and it's an ornament, and you can hang it on a tree. Where are you gonna go?
Yeah. No, that's fucking great. And it's got a Gengar on it. Like, hand-painted gives things this personal style.
Yeah.
Like, artists can draw the way that they can draw because they have perfectly developed a way to make all of their mistakes and weird curvatures and ways their hand malfunctions into a style. Like, it's not that they can draw well most of the time. It's that they have figured out how to draw well with what they can do.
Yeah.
And that's what makes your personal style. So, not an artist is not a thing. It's just lack of practice. That's a thing.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite curse word?
My favorite curse word. To just, like, curse or to call somebody? Favorite thing to call somebody is a cum dumpster.
Ooh. Going straight for the jugular, I see.
It's just, it's so filthy.
Yeah. No, I like cock holster. That's one of my favorites.
Probably my favorite curse word is fuck. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can say it as, oh, fuck. Oh, it's like, you. I mean, it's just,
right.
It's a versatile word.
It really is. It's one of the most in the English language, other than maybe buffalo. I think buffalo is tied for the number of verbiages that you can use it in.
Buffalo?
Buffalo. It is able to. It is a noun. It is a verb. It is an adverb. It is an adjective. Yeah, I think you can make an entire sentence out of 7 buffaloes in a row. One including the name of the city. One including the animal. The other are, in fact, I forget exactly how it works out, and maybe I'll put a link to it down below. But that is totally a thing. That is totally a thing.
I feel sorry for people who have to learn English as a second language. Like,
I know, right? It's, oh my God, it's the fucking worst. Like, you have so many homonyms and homophones and synonyms, and I, as someone who's been speaking it for now 29 years, can't fucking remember it all.
well, apparently you just told me I can use buffalo and nothing else in a sentence. So, yeah, I'm having issues with the English language right now.
Oh, so where would you one day like to live to escape the English language at it all?
On a beach with no people. Probably like out in the Texas Hill Country. Like,
Yeah.
just it's like close to a town. Like, if anyone knows where Colorado City is, yeah.
Not in Colorado,
Nope.
I assume.
Colorado is in West Texas, about 80 miles north of San Angelo and 100 miles east of Midland. And there ain't nothing out there except a small little town with mom and pop grocery, 2 gas stations, and a couple of churches. And it's pretty out there.
That sounds remote.
It's very remote. But, I mean, it's only 80 miles from San Angelo, so, like, if I needed to go into town, I could.
You know, if I just needed to pop over to the store real quick, we'll go 80 miles into town.
It's Texas. 80 miles only takes you an hour or less.
That's a very good point, actually. That is a very, very good point.
Yeah, I mean, that's not much that's not much longer than my current commute from my house to the office, so.
Ouch! And now I feel bad for having moved about 2 miles away. Not gonna lie, that feels pretty goddamn great.
Well, fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna twist that dagger a little bit harder. So our last question before we get on out of here today. If you had a choice, Chelsea, how long would it take you to respawn after you died?
Give me 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah? Nice and quick turnaround.
Nice and quick turnaround, but enough time to be like, don't do that again. Like,
what just killed me? Oh my God, what just killed me?
Like that sniper up there, like, you probably shouldn't walk in front of him. Like, maybe go around the back.
Yeah.
I think 15 seconds would give me enough time to think.
No, that's fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Chelsea, for coming on the show today. I hope you had fun.
It was
I
awesome,
sure did.
Tim.
And is there anything you'd like to plug before we get on out of here?
Not right now, but I think we're good.
Go watch Lazer Team, people.
Come on,
Go
guys.
watch Lazer Team.
You want to find a place set up for it? You want to see the movie again? Go to laserteamthemovie.com, check on host a screening, and get one set up in your town. Reach out to me, and we'll help you get it going.
Excellent. And you've been watching this on youtube.com/Tim Leftwich. My name is Tim Leftwich, and this is our 3-year anniversary week, so thank you all so much for watching me throughout the years and for many years to come. And as always, we'll see you next time. Oh, real quick, Chelsea, what's your Twitter handle?
At Atkinson.
It's been underneath her this whole time. A second week in a row that I forgot to do that before we got out of here. I don't really care anymore. As always, we'll see you next time.